If you're continually being critical of yourself, then it's time to look at what triggers these thought processes. Perhaps a renewed and refreshed relationship with failure is on the cards. To fail is really a necessary process that will eventually lead to success through practice and learning, or perhaps it'll take you in a slightly different direction. Failing at anything is very much part of life. It is, after all, where most of our experiential lessons are learned, and so we should really be embracing it, not hanging our heads in shame to wander off only to find the next half-hearted thing we can fail at. Most successful people fail a lot when they start out, a lot more than they succeed, but they are able to use the lessons from failure and put them to good use. It's just what happens when you're brave enough to push yourself into unknown territories. And only when this happens can you then discover what you don't know about yourself. So failure is what is expected at the start of anything new. And you've simply just had the first lesson in what needs adjusting for the next attempt. Fear of failure is a huge factor in today's world, as we'd prefer not to be seen getting it wrong. We hear phrases like, failure is not an option. But if you're enjoying the process and can accept the possibility of getting it wrong, you can't really lose. As Kipling puts it, winning and losing, or triumph and disaster, are really nothing more than two imposters. So if we keep thinking, saying and hearing the same negative things about ourselves, they can become part of our belief system, especially when they come from the very people we trust. We believe them to be true because that's what they've said about us over the years, and so we've nodded and laughed along and said it about ourselves too. Careless statements about our personalities generally start when we're children, courtesy of our loving parents, siblings, friends, and even school teachers. Perhaps they are statements about being shy, lazy, easily distracted, or not the brightest, or not trying hard enough. If repeated enough times, can become part of what defines us. Now perhaps we have to start telling ourselves a different story. Don't let these statements dictate who we are right now. Other people cannot fully understand your desires and wishes, not even family. It's virtually impossible. So why would we let them dictate how we feel about ourselves? Even if their intentions were from a good place and designed to encourage, sometimes the effect works completely in reverse. To fail is normal. Despite the way our school system processes children, life doesn't generally build itself around one ultimate, all-encompassing and definitive exam anyway. Your interests have changed, your desires are different, and you've learned a great deal. And by taking charge of your own PR and stopping these negative connotations, you can start to tell a different story. It may be that you struggled with some of the lessons or some of the teachers at the school. Will the end-of-year report be a definitive description of you? Of course not. But as a child who has been told that the results from this school will shape who you become, this is a restricting concept embedded into your belief system by the very institution that was designed to increase your chances of success. As adults, many of us still carry these limiting beliefs with us. We can be so seemingly unaware of the disservice we do to ourselves when we repeat these auto-piloted negative statements, not only when things don't go to plan, but worse still, as a predictive outcome. I'm just no good at these things. It never happens to people like me. There's no point, I just never win anything. Other people are so much more successful than me. Anything is possible with the right mindset. That being said, you may want to avoid competitive mixed martial arts past a certain age, but we're never too old to learn new things or take on new challenges. We really need to stop thinking negatively about our abilities and concentrate more on what we would like to accomplish now and tomorrow. So, let us be self-aware enough to recognize these self-slandering thought patterns as they happen. This is 90% of the mission. You can only confront and change what you don't like once it's been identified as an intrusive thought pattern. The more you flag these intruders, the easier it becomes to stop them in their tracks. Analyze the negative connotation behind the statement and see it for what it is. How are they serving you? It's very unlikely that they are.